I had spent 10 years in an addiction, not feeling very worthy, and I was broken and hurting, knowing that there was a God out there, knowing that He wanted something different for me than what I was doing in my life. And I just really begged and pleaded for Him, if you're real, show me how to be a Christian. Show me what that looks like. Teach me. The very next day, God answered that prayer in a way that none of us want to see it in the moment. I went to jail. I'm on a probation violation for a relapse, and I heard about City Light. My mom was an addict. I remember being 10 years old and finding my mom's drugs and just being so disappointed in her. I kind of made that realization that she wasn't really ready to be a parent. So I chose to live with my dad, who was sober. And then my dad passed away when I was 16 from cancer. So it was just me at 16, and it was just me in the world. And pretty much at that point, I just felt lost after my dad. I just started making bad choices. I was pregnant when I was 19 with my ex-husband. We got married right out of high school. We had 2 children, and we got divorced 7 years later, and I just didn't feel worthy anymore. And I just started taking, using meth and, kind of getting to hang out with my mom more, who was still an addict, and just making more bad choices. And I just got sucked in. And all of a sudden, you're 10 years later, and you're just an addict, and with nothing, literally nothing. You're broken, and you're hurting, and you're lonely, and you're incarcerated, and you're looking for a new answer. I mean, there were times in my addiction that I did live in motels, and doing what you have to do to make those payments is not something I wish on anybody. My daughter was 10 months old, and I was living with a family member, and I had relapsed, and they told me I had to leave, and I couldn't come back, so I had nowhere to go. There is no feeling like it to not know what's going to happen to your child when you're, can't take care of them. I went to jail, and that family member took guardianship of my daughter, and so I worked really hard to get that back while I was in the program, but they helped me do that. They helped me see where it was the difference between my will and what was best for Ella. I just had to trust the Lord and hand that over to Him and just work on me and figure out how I could be the best parent for her. But it had to start with me. It had to start with what I was doing and the choices I was making. And that, my advisor helped me see that. And I really just laid that at God's feet, and He blessed me and handed her back to me, a few months later. But I really never took that for granted again. I never took the parenting for granted ever again. That's a miracle in itself, that, I get to be the one to raise her. We're not perfect parents, nobody is, but I get to be there for her, and she gets to know me. And same with my granddaughter. I have a 3-year-old granddaughter now that's in my life, and my oldest daughter and my middle daughter are both in my life daily. It's nice to know I'm raising that next generation of people who care, who want to give back and want to, love people when they don't want to love themselves. I remember those days where I was incarcerated for years on end because of my choices, and wondering and hoping that I could get out and start over. But I couldn't do that till I came to City Light. I couldn't do that without the Boise Rescue Mission Ministries and what they do here. God is in this ministry every single day, and I've been able to witness that over the last 10 years that I've been around City Light, whether it was as a programmer or as a staff member. And I truly, deeply believe that God is working miracles here every day. I always knew I was a child of God even then, but I didn't know how to accept it. I had to really surrender to the Lord and, almost question Him, like, if you're really there, God, send me somewhere right now till I learn to be a Christian. And He did. It just took a 2-week turn to learn about where I could go do that. But I can always see God's hand in that. In every moment of where He's kept me safe and He's led me here to City Light. I was offered a position with the New Life program as an advisor, which was just a blessing. I knew what these ladies were going through, and I knew what City Light wanted to teach them. And it's just been my end goal to help give back to women that are hurting and to help them see the value that they have through Jesus Christ. I pray every day that God will let me continue to serve Him in this capacity. But I see myself here. I see myself right here, and loving these ladies, loving these kids, loving this ministry, and being able to serve. I think about those donors out there, and I think about the people that make City Light and River of Life and Valley and Recovery Lodge run. I think that they're amazing, that they can see the value in these people that are broken and feed into that every time they make that donation. I just thank you. I don't think there's ever enough thank yous in the world for that.